Restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside.
I'm former Major League pitcher Andy Pettitte. I teamed up with Tunnel to Towers after seeing their life-changing work with military and first responder families. Now we're expanding our mission to help veterans struggling with homelessness. We want to help them rebuild their lives not only by giving them a home, but by providing the services they need. Please join me in donating at t2t.org.
My name is Wally Joyner. I was a first baseman for the Angels, Padres, Royals, and Braves. I give the Tunnel to Towers because of what they provide for the veterans, the military, the first responders, the police, the firemen who go out and put their lives in danger for our freedoms. I think it's an incredible charity, an incredible foundation. Their goals of helping the families that protect us. I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. The foundation is committed to delivering mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responder families with young children. Never forget.
Night racing's best bets are at Los Alamitos Racecourse. The Los Alamitos early and late pick fours with outstanding pools and big payouts. Here are some of our recent pools. The pool is over $214,000 on June 23rd and over $240,000 on May 26th. And the late pick four often has pools of over $150,000. And remember, a $10,000 pick six promo on Sundays. Night racing's best bets are at Los Alamitos, Saturday and Sunday nights.
The following is a Race Day Las Vegas presentation in association with Siraco Productions Limited on the Race Day Las Vegas Radio Network.
Live from the gaming capital of the world, time for Race Day Las Vegas, covering the sport of kings with a Las Vegas perspective. Now to the race desk with your host, Ralph Siraco.
From the backstretch to the turf club, at the race books and on the internet, to all horse players around the world, a good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Race Day Las Vegas radio program for this beginning of another racing week here, coming to you live and direct from Las Vegas, Nevada, your gaming capital at the South Point Hotel Casino Complex on Las Vegas Boulevard from the South Point Studios on the South Point Studios streaming network at YouTube. We welcome you to the show as we begin another racing week, looking at it Las Vegas style. And, of course, all of the other platforms that we have that we join with all the other folks out there, like our local radio station for people running around town this morning. Sports Talk 1400 AM and 107.1 FM. And, of course, our websites, racedaylasvegas.com, .vegas, .world, .global, iPhone or Android with the apps that you can get, the KSHP app that you can hear us, and the YouTube app that you can see and hear us on your iPhones or Androids and anywhere you get your podcasting as well. Simply put, however, wherever, whenever you get us, welcome to the show for this morning as we kick off another racing week from Las Vegas, Nevada. Weather is finally going to be good around the country. Right now here in Las Vegas, it's 84 degrees. We're getting into the normal summertime temperatures now here. For example, today we're going to get up to 107. So we're usually between 105 and 110 degrees at this time of the year, topping out. So we're back to kind of the normal stuff, although you still have to stay hydrated, so remember that. But we're going to cap out at 107 today. And for the most part, that's the way it's going to be for the rest of the week. As far as the temperatures around the country, Miami is 90 degrees. You got to 87 in Washington, 86 degrees in New York, and of course, Chicago, 86. You'll top off at 88 in LA today, and Phoenix will be the high spot of the nation at 108 degrees today. But as far as the rest of the weather looks around the country, the only weather you have is going right through the plain states and through a little bit of the Midwest with some rain there. But all that hurricane stuff and everything is gone. I know there's another one that's developing over Puerto Rico, but that's a while away and may not even hit the continental United States. Now, as far as this week is concerned, it's going to be Ladies' Day. It's going to be Ladies' Weekend. 2 big races for 3-year-olds. The Grade 1 Alabama at Saratoga on Saturday, and the Del Mar Oaks at Del Mar also on Saturday. And so as far as the stakes races, Saratoga, in addition to the Alabama, will have the Grade 2 Lake Placid on Saturday. Monmouth Park will have the Grade 3 Philip H. Island Stakes. And Woodbine, big weekend at Woodbine. On Saturday, there's going to be 5 stakes races at Woodbine on Saturday. And, of course, the main one is the King's Plate. It used to be the Queen's Plate, but as you know, the Queen passed away, and now we have a King, so it's now the King's Plate there, and that is for the Canadian horses. We'll go over the field in that in just a moment or two. And the Grade 2 King Edward, the Grade 3 Bold Venture, and the Catch a Glimpse and the Soaring Free, 5 stakes races on Saturday at Woodbine. So it's going to be kind of a big day north of the border. And, of course, on Sunday, we'll have a stakes race each at Saratoga, Del Mar, Monmouth, and Hawthorne, but a couple of stakes races at Laurel Park. So looking at this weekend, besides the 2 races for the 3-year-olds and the King's Plate, it's going to be kind of a quiet weekend as far as the big major stakes races. But we are heading now, as you know, we're right in the middle of August, and we're heading now towards the end of August, and you know what happens there. The Travers, of course, a big day. The Travers and the Pacific Classic also at Del Mar. As far as the news is concerned, trainer Steve Claceres got a 15-day and $1,000 fine for a drug violation, but he said he's appealing the decision because he says he's not guilty. And so he's going to go to the International Adjudication Panel to get the hearing for that. But he's been slapped with a 15-day and $1,000 fine for what is believed to be a violation of medication. Preakness winner Sees the Gray will not go on the Travers Stakes. He'll get off of that kind of run for the 3-year-olds. And he'll wind up going to the Pennsylvania Derby. D. Wayne Lucas made the decision to go to the Pennsylvania Derby on the 21st of September. So Sees the Gray will not be in the Travers. And they had that round table, that big round table over at Saratoga, as you know. And that is the Racing and Gaming Conference at Saratoga. And a big controversy, a big subject point at that round table was how the stewards adjudicate and why they are not more transparent in their decisions for adjudicating. They think that the stewards to be more transparent on inquiries and objections to the public. They're thinking about maybe broadcasting while they're making the decisions and adjudication in process. So while this thing is in process, now they're thinking about, broadcasting it to the folks on closed circuit, etc., to try to make it at least more, what we would say, transparent. We'll wait and see if that holds any water, though. But that was a suggestion at the roundtable there. And the Virginia Derby that was usually run at Colonial Downs, and they had a big weekend, as you know, at Colonial Downs. Virginia Derby is going to be switched to March from its usual spot in September, because, as you know, Churchill Downs owns and operates Colonial Downs, and what they're going to do is they're going to make the Virginia Derby in March part of the Kentucky Derby points system now. So the Virginia Derby has gone to March. They're going to have, I think they said, a special 4-day meet at Colonial Downs in March for the Virginia Derby, and that'll be part of the Kentucky Derby points system for next year. Just a couple of notes of news around the country, and of course, we will get into more of the results, etc., on our show today. Jonathan Hardoon is standing with us. He is definitely the star of the day. If you remember, he gave us a 20-1 shot at Del Mar on Sunday. But here's what happened. He kept getting bet down and bet down and bet down. In the post-parade, he was down to 9-1. Approaching the starting gate, he got bet down to almost 5-1. He wins the race and pays $10 as closing odds at 4-1. This horse was bet, and it was bet heavy to the end. While Jonathan gave it to us as a nice key 20-1 shot, the rest of the world got jumping on him, and so he won and paid 4-1. But anyhow, Jonathan, nice call on that at Del Mar. We also had a reverse play winner from Jerry Jacovitz and another winner from John Lindo as well on Sunday. So our guys are kind of coming out of the thaw. They're kind of thawing out after that cold streak last week. And we do want to pass along our thoughts to John Lindo. He's under the weather right now, so he said he lost his voice on Sunday after the show, and so John Lindo is taking care of himself, and he might be back with us tomorrow. But John will not be with us on the show today. Jonathan Hardoon will, Rich Eng will, and so will Jerry Jacovitz, and of course your racing menu yet. We'll take a look at the results of some of the races as well. As I said, Colonial Downs had a big day on Sunday. They had, of course, the big 3 races, the Secretariat, the Beverly D, and the Arlington Million. In the Secretariat for 3-year-olds on the turf, the winner there was Tricari. If you remember, when Jonathan was going through the race, I thought that Tricari had a good shot of winning the race at 3-1 odds. Well, Tricari won the race, but was bet down to 3-2 and paid $5 even. John Velasquez aboard for Graham Motion. Brilliant Birdie finished second with Frankie Dettori aboard, and In a Jam finished third in the Secretariat. Then we went to the Beverly D, which is a win, and you're in Breeders' Cup for the Breeders' Cup filly mare. And the Beverly D was won by Mora, the Canadian Horse of the Year a couple of years ago, Canadian Horse of the Year, trained by Kevin Attard and ridden by Jose Ortiz. Moira paid $3.40 as the favorite in the Beverly D. She's back. Fev Rover, the early pace setter, finished second, and Nice Marie finished third in that Beverly D. And then finally, in the Arlington Million on Sunday, Nation's Pride wins with William Buick aboard for Charlie Appleby and Godolphin. A $4 winner there, outrunning Integration. And Ancient Rome, a big win by Nation's Pride in the Arlington Million. They got started late at Colonial Downs. This race was supposed to go about an hour and a half before it actually went off. They broke out of the starting gate for the Arlington Million at 8:01 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:01 p.m. Pacific Time, but they got it in, and everybody there who was at Colonial Downs after the delay said they were treated right, and it was a great day of racing there. That's a good sign at Colonial Downs. A nice win there by Nation's Pride, Mora, and Chikari. Saratoga on Sunday, 3 stakes races. And those 3 stakes races were the Mahoney, the race that was scheduled on the schedule for Sunday. The Mahoney was won by Fandom. Dylan Davis aboard for Brad Cox, paid $10 even in that race, outrunning Run Carson and Apollo 10. And in the 2 races that were canceled the weekend ahead of time, and then this past weekend was transferred from Saturday to Sunday, they finally got the races in. The $500,000 Grade 1 4-star Dave, a Breeders' Cup winning you're in there as well, won by Carl Speckler. Tyler Gaffley on aboard for Chad Brown. Got an easy win there and paid $6.10. More Than Looks was second. Ottoman Fleet was third. And in the race, Money Supply was eliminated at the start. He leaped at the start and just was way back in that race. So you might want to take a look at a replay there if you had that horse or looking maybe to put him on your bet back list as well. The Saratoga Derby finally run. It was the 11th and final race at Saratoga on Sunday. The winner there was Carson's Run for Dylan Davis. Dylan Davis' second win of the day, his second stakes win of the day as well for Christopher Clement. Clement had the first and third place finishers in the Saratoga Derby there. $12.40 for that win. Legend of Time was second and Deterministic was third. Nobody had the pick six on Sunday at Saratoga, so you know what that means for today at Saratoga. Instant Horse Player Holiday, over $100,000 in the carryover in the pick six for Saratoga today. On Sunday, the fives got paid $2,451.50. And as I said, Jerry J had a reverse play in the fourth race with his selections there. And nice wins there all over for Saratoga as well. And then at Del Mar on Sunday, Del Mar, trainer George Papadromo had a big day. He won the first race with the Tahini paying $8 even, and then came back and won the fourth race with Omaha Girl paying $74.60, and then came back in the sixth race and won with Duran paying $8.60. So Papadromo won half of the first six races on Sunday at Del Mar. The stakes race of the day was the Best Pal. That was the third race on the card for 2-year-olds. The winner there was Getaway Car, who was an easy winner. I mean, easy. It just looked like an afternoon gallop for this one. A Bob Baffert trainee, 2-year-old. Getaway Car with Juan Hernandez aboard paid $2.60. Mischievous River was second. White Sands was third. And Jonathan Hardoon gave us a winner. Another winner there at Del Mar in the ninth race, Man Overboard. That was the 20-1 shot. They get back down to 4-1 finally when we got paid off. $10 on a horse that was 20-1 on the morning line. Steve Knapp was the trainer there. Tiago Piera, Man Overboard, who got left at the start. This is a 5.5 furlong race on the main track, a main track that obviously has a speed bias to it. Broke last, circled the field and won. How good was this horse? That's why I only paid $10 even, I guess. And then, of course, John Lindo gave us a winner in the fifth race. Hot Girl Walk with Antonio Frisu for Carla Gaines, paying $3.20 there at Del Mar. Other weekend winners, Ellis Park had 6 big stakes races. The R.A. Cowboy Jones Memorial won by Saudi Crown. Brad Cox, the trainer there. Saudi Crown, Florent Garreau, $3.36. Ellis Park Derby won by Most Wanted. Florent Garreau and Brad Cox again. That one paid $8.06. The Ellis Park Juvenile won by Owens Almighty. Christian Torres for Brian Lynch paying $3.34. The Debutante for 2-year-old fillies won by Stilettos. Brian Hernandez for Brett Calhoun at $6.10. The Audubon Oaks won by Fibber with the Axel Concepcion aboard for Chris Hartman paying $7.56. And the Groupie Doll Stakes won by Pigali. That horse with Luan Machado aboard for Thomas Drury Jr. paid $48.86. That was at Ellis Park on Sunday. Finally, at Emerald Downs, they ran the Long Acres Mile. And the Long Acres Mile winner was 5-star General, who won that race again. Remember, Joey Bravo went all the way out there to ride this horse for Grant Foster and got up in the final jumps to win. 5-star General, a repeat winner of the Long Acres Mile, $4.22, outrunning Clover's Connection and Slew's Tiz Whiz, who finished third. The Muckleshot Derby, won by Dynamic Secret. Juan Gutierrez at $9.78. The Emerald Distaff, Aloha Breeze for Carlos Montalvo at $4 even. Montalvo came back and won the Washington Oaks with La Push. They paid $8.84. And that's a wrap-up of what happened Sunday, just in case you might have missed any of those results. All right, we'll be back with this beginning show for the beginning of the week of another racing, week of racing, of course, Las Vegas style. We'll be right back.
From the South Point studio, the perfect blend of sports.
But I think the Niners are going to wear them down. Detroit Pistons lost their 36 games.
Comedy.
See over-under on that relationship lasting. I'm going to put mayo in the coffee.
Yes. I am beautiful. And a whole lot of Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. Yeah. Pittsburgh.
Join Ryan McCormick.
That's at least 2 picks outside of our own in the first round next year. Oreo.
And host Frank Nicotero.
I look at the clock, I go, ah! Ah!
Oh! Watch Punchlines live at noon every weekday.
Okay, back on Race Day Las Vegas for this Wednesday. Let's go to the racing menu for today, reminding you that we always do. The first post times we broadcast on the show each and every day reflect that of the Pacific time zone. So if you're here in Las Vegas, you're going to be playing the races right here at the South Point behind us, the South Point Racebook. These will be the first post times that roll out in our racebook today. If you're listening anywhere else on the many different streamings that we have that cover the world, we know a lot of you are listening in another time zone. So if you are, adjust to the Pacific time zone from whatever one you're in. This way you won't miss anything at all. And a chance of making some money there with a bet. But I don't want you to miss anything like I miss Mom and Dad. Okay, here we go. Here's the menu for today. We begin with Delaware Park. Delaware Park has 9 races today. They've got a couple of stakes races there. The $50,000 Blue Hen for 2-year-olds is the 6th race on the card. And the Dover for 2-year-olds at 5.5 furlongs is also. The Blue Hen, of course, is for the 2-year-old fillies. And the Dover is for straight 2-year-olds, colts and geldings. That's the 8th race on the card. 9 races overall today at Delaware Park. First post time is at 9:30 at Delaware Park. Belterra Park is next. Belterra Park has a super high 5 carryover of $33,063. 8 races today and a first post time of 9:35. Finger Lakes. That's the second of the 2 upstate New York racetracks running now. Finger Lakes has 8 races. Their first post time at Finger Lakes is set at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. at Finger Lakes today. And then, of course, we go to Saratoga. Saratoga first post time today is at 10:10. The first race will be the Grade 1 Jonathan Shepard Stakes, Steeplechase Stakes, at 2 3/8 miles over the hurdles. Okay, they're finally going to get this race in. The Steeplechase Stakes race is the first race on the card today at Saratoga. The 2nd through 9th races will be what they call the flats. And the stakes race for the flats is the 5th race, the $125,000 Susie O'Kane Stakes, at 1 16 on the inner turf for 3-year-old fillies, and a field of 10 before any scratches. Your 3 to 5 favorite is Landed with John Velasquez aboard in the Susie O'Kane. Now, they're on the turf today. They will be running the steeplechase race. It is a beautiful 67-degree sunny day out at Saratoga. And the turf courses are firm, and the track is labeled fast. And, of course, we have that Pick 6 carryover today at Saratoga, so get the handicapping. The Pick 6 carryover today, $107,469.89 to be exact. And the first post time at Saratoga today at 10:10. Remember, with the steeplechase stakes race on the card, the early Pick 5 will start in the 2nd race, and the early Pick 4 will start in the 3rd race. As far as the Pick 6 is concerned, the Pick 6 will start in the 4th race today. 4th race at Saratoga. Again, first post time is at 10:10. All right, next up comes Horseshoe Indianapolis. Horseshoe Indianapolis has 10 races, 8 thoroughbred races. The last 2 will be quarter horses. First post time 11:10. Presque Isle Downs has a first post time for 8 races at 12 high noon. 12 high noon at Presque Isle. Louisiana Downs. Pick 6 jackpot carryover, $9,798. First post time at Louisiana Downs for 7 races set at 2:05. And then you go to Penn National. Penn National has 7 races today, and Penn National's first post time is set at 2:45. 2:45 at Penn Nat. Evangeline Downs kicks in with a nice 8-race card there, and their first post time is at 3:30 at Evangeline Downs, and that is the racing menu for today. All right, time to bring in the man of the hour, Jonathan Hardoon. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Ralph. How are you?
Nice to have a nice winner, but boy, I guess a lot of people were listening to you because that horse got bet down ridiculous. And the way he won from breaking last into 5.5 furlong, when he broke last, I thought, well, there it goes. No way this horse is going to close at 5.5 furlongs on the main track the way that track's playing at Del Mar. But he did. He got a great ride, too, by Tiago. He cut the corner and saved a lot of ground going into the stretch.
That made the difference. When the gate opened and he got left, I was just might as well rip up the tickets because you can't do what he did, not on that track. But he did it. He was very good. Congratulations to the Connections. They did a great job. And you're right, a terrific ride by Tiago Pereira. He could have given up, Ralph, but he pursued us all the way around, and that made the difference.
Well, you know, Jonathan, the way the horse got bet right down to 4-1 by the time we got paid off, I'm thinking that maybe the Connections there with the horse might have stuck a little ticket in the boot of Mr. Pereira.
Maybe.
You know, which all, by the way, that's legal, folks. This is not owners can bet their own horse for the jockey they're riding in the race for them.
The problem is if he sticks a different rider's number in his boot.
That's not good. In any case, that was a nice winner there, Jonathan. And I got to tell you that you had two winners. You had another winner, of course, at Saratoga. And our chat guys noticed that. James wants to congratulate you. He said, and he also was charting you in the charity handicapping contest on Sunday, the Del Mar charity handicapping contest, where I understand you finished fourth in the contest there at Del Mar, the charity contest.
I did. And Man Overboard got me up to fourth. It was a 300. You had to bet $300 in races, and you had to bet at least 4 races. So the problem is, if it comes to the Man Overboard race and you're out of money, what are you going to do? So I advanced bet him early for $100, and I was fooling around. And when the race came up, I had a total of like $400 to win on him. So he did me good.
Yeah, it says you finished fourth in the contest with a total of $2,300. I don't know what the base bets were, what the contest was, but you finished with $2,300. And you did. Did you get a seat at the NHC BCBC?
I got the one for the Pacific Classic Day. It's a $4,000 buy-in, so technically, I guess I won $4,000.
All right.
So it's good.
Okay. Well, all I can say is I was really disappointed with the price, but nevertheless, you got there. And by the way, before all that activity started, way beyond we left our show, you were picking him as a 20-1 long shot. So good news there.
Yeah, we picked a 7 or 8 in the morning, Ralph. So we were a little ahead of the times for a change. We got it right.
And by the way, several of the chatters out there today are congratulating you on that. And so we got to keep the mojo going, though, that's for sure. Anything happen over the weekend besides that win that you picked, as far as the stakes races, et cetera, that piqued your curiosity? Your man Brad Cox had a couple of winners, I think, at Ellis Park.
Yeah, I think he had 2 winners and a second out of the 3 stake races. So his horses, like usual, always run well. And when he ships there and Giroux comes in to ride, Giroux gave a couple of pretty good rides. Not easy wins, but they won. 2 of the 3 horses won, and he got a second.
All right. Well, as we know, Kenny McPeak has already made the decision that Torpedo Anna is going to skip the very prestigious and Grade 1 Alabama that comes up on Saturday at Saratoga to go for even a bigger prize, the big race of the meet, the focal race of the meet, the Travers against the boys in that one. And with her defecting the Alabama, all of a sudden, a lot of other trainers thought, hey, the Alabama prestigious Grade 1 and a purse, the purse value there of $600,000. They wound up getting a field of 8. I don't think they would have had 8 with Torpedo Anna in there, but they got a field of 8, and it looks like a pretty competitive race with her gone.
Yeah, I mean, the good news for gamblers are concerned, if Torpedo Anna would have run in the Alabama, she would have been odds on. There probably would have been 4 or 5 horses in the race at most, and now she skips that to opt for the Travers, so all of a sudden that race opens up, and it certainly becomes a lot better betting race. Not only that, it certainly piques interest. Not that the Travers needs that much interest, but it's only going to be more hype now with Torpedo Anna, possibly Sierra Leone, possibly Fierceness. That's going to be a terrific race.
Yeah, it is. It's shaping up to really be a real nice race. As far as the Alabama is concerned, from the rail out, number 1 is Intricate. Tyler Gaffleon for Brendan Walsh. The 2 is Chetalus. Frankie Dettori for Mark Glatt. Mark Glatt is sending a horse to the Alabama, and Frankie Dettori will ride. So keep that in mind. That's interesting. The 3 is Power Squeeze. Javier Castellano for Jorge Delgado. The 4 is Just Basking. Daughter, I should say, of Arrogate. Chris Landeros for Ian Wilkes. The 5, America's Vow. Junior Alvarado for Tim Ham. The 6 is Miss Justify, which is, of course, an offspring of Justify. Flavian Pratt for Todd Pletcher. Pletcher's got 2 horses in the race. He also has number 7, Candied, Manny Franco for Todd Pletcher. And the 8 is Neon Icon, Luis Saez for Rusty Arnold. And so it looks like, I think it's a good competitive, it'll be a nice feel and a good renewal of the Alabama.
And the interesting thing is, Ralph, you have horses shipping in from all over. Not all these horses have been in New York. You have a couple of horses shipping from Kentucky, and you have a horse shipping from California as well. And Candid, the last time she ran, I remember we played her, but I think she had a very tough trip. I didn't do the race yet, but I'm certainly going to look forward to it.
Yeah, and we'll, of course, look at that certainly on Saturday. But the other big race, and the big racing day, obviously, the other one is north of the border at Woodbine. They have the King's Plate as part of their stakes races over there. 5 stakes races at Woodbine, but the King's Plate, which is, by the way, not graded because it's for Canadian breds. But in any case, there's a big favorite in that race. From the rail out, number 1 is Joke Star. Kevin Attard trained. Emma Jane Wilson will ride 5th in the plate trial. The 2 is Rafa Rue, Harold De La Cour, and the rider is Ryan Munger at 8-1. The 3 is Essex Serpent, Mark Cassey, one of Mark Cassey's horses. This one's at 2-1. Pat Husbands will ride. Won the Marine Stakes in his last start. And then the 4 is Caitlin Her Greatness, also trained by Kevin Attard. Rafael Hernandez will ride, was 2nd in the Woodbine Oaks at 12-1. The 5 is Midnight Mascot, another Mark Cassey trainee. Kazuchi Kimura will be at Woodbine on Saturday to ride this one for him at 10-1. This horse finished 3rd in the Marine. The 6 is Friendly Ghost. Evan Chartland Hook and Justin Stein will ride there, 3rd in the plate trial. This one's a long shot at 30-1. Then you have number 8, Pierre. That is trained by Kevin Attard, David Cohen riding at 20-1. The 9 is Thor's Cause. Christine Cole, Jeffrey Alderson will ride at 50-1. A couple of long shots there. The 10 is Bedard. Kevin Attard again. He's got a lot in this race this year. Pedro Morano will ride at 30-1. The 11 is Roar of the Crowd. Dominic Posanidi is the trainer. Fraser Albee is the rider at 50-1. And then you've got No More Options, the 12 horse, 6th in the plate at 30-1. And the 13, another big long shot at 20-1, Vitality there, Jose Campos riding there. So the big favorite in the race is My Boy Prince, who won the plate trial. He's the 7 horse, and he's 7-5 on the morning line. So. And that is Mark Cassey trainee. So Mark Cassey's got a couple in there, and Kevin Attard has multitudes there as well. The King's Plate is always one of the big pivotal races at Woodbine. Of course, the other one is the Woodbine Mile that comes up later on in the year.
Yeah, and there's also a big race at Monmouth on Saturday, the James Islin, which is going to attract some good older horses, and the division's pretty weak this year, but let's see what happens. But that's supposed to be a good race as well.
Yeah, and that of course, at Monmouth Park, and that'll come up on, I believe, on Sunday. Is that not right?
No, Saturday. They draw today. They're going to draw today, I think, for it.
Okay, they're going to. Oh, so yeah, it is Saturday, the Grade 3 Islin. That used to be a prep for what was the big race there? Is this the big race for the handicap division?
For the older horses, I think, yes.
Yeah.
This is
their big race for the handicap division. So we'll wait and see
Right.
what goes there. But sees the go. I guess the Preakness winner is not going to go, and the Travers going to opt for the Pennsylvania Derby. Sees the Gray.
That's the Lucas horse that won the Preakness, if you recall, on a wet track. It was the best race he's ever won. He got a speedway, and he took advantage of it, and they're going to opt for the Pennsylvania Derby now.
Trainer George Papadromo, he had a big day at Del Mar. He won 3 of the first 6 races there, so he's starting to heat up a little. And of course, Bob Baffert unleashes another 2-year-old, a 2-year-old maiden, Gaming, that won the 7th race with Juan Hernandez. Baffert and Hernandez won 2 races. They won the stakes race, the earlier stakes race, the Best Pal, and they uncork another 2-year-old, Gaming, that won rather easily in the 7th race at $6.60. So with that and Getaway Car, who just got away and motored easily home, Baffert's loaded with 2-year-olds. It seems like every 2-year-old that he's run there, either in a maiden race or a stakes race this year at Del Mar, are winning by open lengths.
Yeah, well, this year is no different than any other year, Ralph. He points every year to unleash some superstars at Del Mar, and that's what he does, and he continues to do it.
Jonathan, looking at today's card at Saratoga, we've got that big pick 6 carryover over $107,000. It'll go from the 4th to the 9th race on the card. And looking at these sequence of 6 races, I couldn't find anything that would make me feel comfortable as making it a singleton to try to keep the ticket doable. But how do you see it?
Well, that's what I'm here for, Ralph. We got to try to give everybody a single. And we're going to look at the 7th race today for the radio. And I like the number 1 horse in here, Awesome Anne Marie. Awesome Anne Marie is a 7-year-old mare who was claimed last time out by Richard Dutrow. She's part of an entry with the 1A Mon Petit Chow. Now, neither one is scratched, but I only want to bet if Awesome Anne Marie goes. I'm not interested in the other half of the entry. If she runs and she happens to win, well, she'll save the day. But I like the 1 horse in here, Awesome Anne Marie. Draw a line through her last race. She had trouble in that race. Dutrow off to a bit of a slow start, Ralph. Only 1 for 17 so far at the meet.
Yeah.
Too good a trainer. He's going to turn it around today. Jose Gomez aboard to ride 4-1 on the morning line. Let's single number 1, Awesome Anne Marie, in today's 7th race.
All right. Today's 7th race at Saratoga, number 1, Awesome Anne Marie. If both go and the other win, well, you get lucky. And if Awesome Anne Marie is scratched, it's a no bet, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you said that was your radio horse. Was that the horse that you thought was a singleton?
Well, I'm going to single him. If I'm giving him on the radio, obviously I have enough confidence in him to win. In the first leg, if you're looking for a single, number 3, Cost Containment. Chad Brown sends out this 3-year-old filly, and she ran super first time out in defeat back at Aqueduct. She's 3-1 on the morning line, but if you're looking for a single and you have to cheapen the ticket up, that would probably be another single. Yeah. So you got 2 out of me today, Ralph. 2.
That's what you're here for. 2 out of you. 2. I'll go for 3. I know I won't get it, but I'll go for 3 in any case. But going back to the feature race, the Susie O'Kane, 3-5 on Landed.
Well, 3-5 on Landed because Landed is MTO and Landed will be scratched.
Yes, let's.
So if the race came off.
We're going to take a look right now at the 5th race, which is the stakes. In addition to number 10, Landed being scratched because it was an MTO, you also have another scratch in that race, and that's the 8-horse Elet Doro. Elet Doro is scratched. That horse was 20-1 on the morning line. And so now staying on the turf on a beautiful day at Saratoga, let's keep our fingers crossed. We get that Awesome Check is the 5-2 favorite there with Manny Franco.
You want to hear something funny, Ralph? For some reason, they kept the MTOs in later in the card, but I'm telling you, it is so beautiful. I don't know why they didn't scratch them, but maybe they know something we don't know. They're not calling, but they left the MTOs in, so you never could, you're never sure here.
Well, I guess the folks at Saratoga, after rescheduling both the steeplechase stakes race and the other stakes races over 2 weeks, etc., are just a little weather paranoid right now. But in any case, they are scratched in that race, and we'll wait and see. Should be an interesting day of racing. And on a Wednesday, it becomes, by edict of Race Day Las Vegas, an instant horse player holiday because, after all, when the carryover is more than $100,000 on any one of the pools, hey, it's an instant horse player holiday. There's money sitting out there. As far as the jockey standings are concerned right now at Saratoga, Irad Ortiz Jr. has lengthened his lead a little. He's got 33 wins. Tyler Gaffleone is now second with 26. Flavien Prat with 25. And it looks like it'll come down to these three guys right to the wire. Irad, though, having the upper hand again. And the leading...
But remember, Irad's about to serve a 3-day suspension. So gone for 3 days, a lot could happen.
Yeah, let's hope that Mr. Gaffleone and Mr. Pratt can make some hay while Irad sits on the bench. Leading trainers at Saratoga, no really big change here. Chad Brown's leading with 21 wins, and he's got 6 wins ahead of Mike Maker, who's having a great meet. Maker's at 15. Todd Pletcher sits there at 14 as we make our way past the halfway mark already at Saratoga, right?
Yeah, it's already. Today's the 14th. We close on September 2nd, so we're running out of days. But like I said last week, we're going to finish strong, Ralph.
Finish strong, my man, that's for sure. We want to thank you so much. And don't forget Jonathan's sheet for today with that Pick 6 carryover. You might want to take a look at it. Jonathan, of course, a full sheet at Saratoga at your website, right, John?
JONHARDOON.com. And a get well soon to John Lindo. Everyone knows how hard he works. If he's taking a day off, you could be sure he's really under the weather.
Yeah,
because he does not miss.
No, he doesn't. And the thing about it is when you can't talk, not good for the not good for the show. So yes, we will we'll get John back real quick, I hope.
He could type in the chat room if he wants to join us.
Yeah, that's right. Our chat room's cooking today, and there are a lot of congratulations for you in the chat room. All right, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Great. Stay safe and be well. Thank you.
All right, coming up next is Rich Eng with us, and of course we still have Jerry J yet to go, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thank you, buddy.
There are many families that need your help. I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I'm asking you to support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation in their efforts to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children, as well as eradicating homelessness amongst our veterans. Everybody knows where the money's going. Every single dollar. God bless you. Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting t2t.org.
Hello, I'm Dennis Quaid. For years, Tunnel to Towers has demonstrated a commitment to first responders and military families. They've paid off mortgages and built specially adapted smart homes. Now the foundation is expanding its mission to eradicate veteran homelessness. Please give our veterans a chance to reclaim their dignity by donating at t2t.org.
South Point is also proud to provide a variety of relaxing amenities for the guests who want to be pampered. Soak up the sun and let your stress melt away in our lagoon-style Paradise swimming pool. A relaxing getaway where you can bask in the desert sun and enjoy seasonal food and bar service poolside. And if you really want to escape, come to Spa Costa del Sur. From couple suites to a co-ed wet area, our spa caters to business and leisure travelers who want to unwind and elevate their senses. A visit to one of our spa's steam, sauna, or whirlpool treatment rooms will leave any guest feeling like they can take on the world.
All right, back on Race Day Las Vegas. Chat is going wild here on the show, but since we do have a carryover in the Pick 6 today at Saratoga, I'm going to give you a couple of horses from the chat room that our handicappers are picking. These are from the chatters now. And so let's see. We will go to the fifth race at Saratoga. In the fifth race, the moniker Cheerios Bagel likes the 2-horse, Summer World. And McGuire In the 8th race, likes number 3, Destiny Star. That horse is 10-1. And, of course, Frank steps in, and our man Frank in the 6th race likes number 1, Kara's Dream Weaver. So some of our handicappers out there, in the chat, giving us their thoughts about Saratoga today, that's for sure. One of them also asked me to ask Jonathan how he got to the winner, that 20-1 shot at Del Mar. He got that by just doing his normal handicapping, his system, which he also told me that on Saturday as well. Because I asked him, I said, "Did you get any barn information or whatever?" And he said, "No, this is just my handicapping. Just came up with a nice 20-1 shot." All right, let's get started. Get back to the show with Mr. Rich Eng. Richie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Ralphie. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, listeners.
Well, Richie, I hope you had a little piece of that Hardoon pick at Sunday at Del Mar. But before we get started with taking a look at maybe a pick or so from you at the races today at probably Saratoga or wherever you're looking at today, what about the NFL preseason? Now, I know it's early, but what are you looking for in preseason as far as what you might apply to handicapping when the season really starts for real?
Well, I think you're really just looking for individual development. If your favorite team won, don't get too excited. If your favorite team lost, don't get overly depressed. It's the preseason. The coaches aren't giving anything away that can be used on film. I think the biggest emphasis from the first week was the play of the rookie quarterbacks, and there were a half dozen of them, Ralph. And I do have bad news to report on one of them, J.J. McCarthy, number 1 pick for the Minnesota Vikings. He tore a meniscus in his right knee, so definitely they may have to perform surgery. And, so he could be out for a while, maybe even the whole season. Some of the other rookies actually played pretty well. Bo Nix probably gets the best report card grade for Denver. He played very well. Caleb Williams for the Bears played very well. Jaden Daniels only played 1 series but led to a touchdown. Michael Penix played a little bit. He played pretty well for Atlanta. The one player who gets an incomplete was Drake May. He wasn't asked to do much for the Patriots. But I'll close on this. 2 quarterbacks who didn't do themselves any favors in their first game was the game between Dallas and the Rams. Trey Lance and Stetson Bennett did not look like NFL quarterbacks. And if you can't look good in the preseason when you're facing vanilla defenses, you're probably going to be in trouble when the defense start throwing exotic looks at you.
What about our local team, the Las Vegas Raiders? I know we got 2 quarterbacks that are battling for the lead there. The offense looked pretty good on their preseason game. The defense did not. But do you hear any leanings here?
Yeah, both quarterbacks played pretty well. Aiden O'Donnell started the game. Gardner Minshew jumped in and played pretty well, put some points up on the board. So I heard that Coach Pierce was going to announce the opening game starter after the second game. So he's going to give them another chance to audition. But they look pretty good. The thing is, Ralph, they both look the same. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with either quarterback starting, but I think both are probably going to get a chance to play during the course of the year. I don't think it's going to be Aiden O'Brien all season or Gardner Minshew all season. I think both are going to get plenty of playing time.
Well, let's hope that they can do well in that position. That's for sure. Second game, I think, comes up Thursday or Saturday, I think, whatever the case.
Yeah, it's kind of spread out the way they do it. It's not all on, spread it out throughout the week.
Well, I know you're looking for a horse around the country on days like today, so where are we going?
Well, I'm going to Saratoga. I think it's a pretty ripe card. I'm going to be playing some horses at Saratoga.
Yeah.
The one I'm giving out on the radio will be in the 5th race, Ralph. It's the Susie O'Kane Stakes, New York bred. Baby's going along on the grass. I like the number 2, Summer Whirl. Graduated for Graham Motion with John Velasquez up. I'm not concerned coming out of the maiden special weight race because, in essence, this is more like a first-level allowance condition called a stakes race. But this horse has a great finishing kick, should get a nice setup. Let's go with the 2, Summer Whirl, race 5, Saratoga.
All right, you are with one of our chatters, Cheerios Bengal. He also likes in the 5th race the 2-horse. You like number 2, Summer Whirl, in the Susie O'Kane. The 5th race on the card at Saratoga. Remember, the 5th race is the 4th race in the sequence of the early pick 5 today, and the 3rd race in the sequence of the early pick 4. The first race is a steeplechase race. Pick 4 and pick 5s will start thereafter. All right, you like the 2 in the 5th. All right, Richie, we'll keep an eye on that football for us, and certainly you'll be back with the Del Mar selections tomorrow. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks, Ralph. Good luck, everybody.
All righty. We're going to bypass the last break and go right to Mr. Jerry Jacovitz standing by. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, Ralph.
Well, we got to carry over in the pick 6 today at Saratoga, and when you went over today's races at Saratoga, you think it'll be a difficult pick 6 to hit?
Well, pick 6s are always have a certain amount of difficulty. They sometimes can look fairly obvious, and then it turns out not to be the case. You have a 6 race where you have a lot of first-time starters. I have 2 star horses in there, and I have 1 very fast-rated horse. If the fast-rated horse wins, that'll make the an easier pick 6 to hit. In the 5th, Richie comes up with the Summer Whirl. I have him as co-top rated on the power page, but I also have a V horse in the race, and they occasionally win, so that makes it more difficult, if it wins. If not, I think that's a doubleton. The 4th race looks like a singleton to me. Get the power pages, you'll see that. So, you definitely are at least 1 by 2 by 3 through the first minimum of 1 by 2 by 3 through the first 3 races. I have a couple of star horses in the 6th race to go with that. And the horse I'm going to give in the 8th race, I think, is a single. So,
oh, good, because I thought that the 8th and 9th races, the last 2 races in the sequence, were kind of races that you might have to go deep in. But with you giving us the 8th race, we can probably cut down the ticket a little. 8th race, who do you like?
I kind of agree that the 9th is pretty wide open. I like number 4, Revelita, the 4 horse with the Flavian product for Chad Brown. Just by any metric, whether you go by speed figures or you go by class ratings, this horse has back class or back speed that is superior to the rest of the field. Comes off a layoff, first time Lasix, runs very well, but got caught behind the slow pace. Now, I think this is a perfect setup for her, and she's probably just better than these. So I like the 4 an awful lot. It's 5-2 morning line. If you get anything above 4 to 5, I think you're getting the best of it. I'll take the 4 over the 1, 3, and 11, do my reverses to break even. It's all about the 4 horse in the filly, the 4 horse in race number 8.
All right, the 8th race at Saratoga at a mile on the inner turf course. You like the 4, Revelita, for all the reasons you just stated, the 4. And the link-ups include numbers 1, 3, and 11 and reverse. And, of course, again, the win bet is on the 4 in the 8th race. Looking at your sheet, I could say that the 9th and final race not only is your top selection, top-rated horse in that race, but it's also a pop-out key. So maybe we can certainly use that horse in the 9th and final.
There's another horse with a lot of speed in the race that rates out pretty well that I would hate to have it. If any ticket I would put on would have both of them on. But as a single betting proposition, the way the odds look, great. Gaslight Dance looks like a play to me. So.
All right. Your Gaslight Dance. You said in that race.
Yeah, that would be. If I were making a play, depending on the odds, that would definitely be. But as a pick 6, I wouldn't single it.
All right. So that's Gaslight Dancer, the 1 horse in the 9th race there. It's an interesting card, that's for sure, and certainly a card that a lot of horse players will want to get into. After all, there's 100,000 plus in the pick 6 carryover, so get involved. And of course, Jerry J's power page for all of Saratoga today is available at jerryjspowerpage.com. Well, we want to wish John Lindo a speedy recovery, and we'll maybe hope to have him back on the show tomorrow. But in the meantime, we will move ahead with racing tomorrow after today's Saratoga, and look ahead to the weekend as well on the Race Day shows. I want to thank all our chatters for chatting away there. one more thing to say, and Jerry's going to say it.
Have a great race day, everybody.